Hello dear students, I hope you guys are doing fine. So in the previous classes we have been learning a lot actually. First we learned about forms of verb, and then we moved on to simple tenses and then continuous tenses, and now we have to move on to perfect tenses. Perfect tenses. As the name itself suggests, perfect tenses show actions already completed or in a way perfected or completely done in the past. So I want you to keep this in mind. Perfect tenses show actions already completed or completely done in the past. Perfect. Actions that are perfected, completed. So perfect tenses are used to talk about things that are already done or completed in the past to make it easier for you to understand things that are perfected in the past. I use it so that you have this association with perfect tenses. Now I want you to go back to the very first video that we had, which was forms of verb. In forms of verb, when we were learning the three forms of verb, namely the present form of the verb, past form of the verb, and the third one, which one was that? Past participle form of the verb. So when I was telling you about past participle form of the verb, I told you that past participle form of the verb is mostly seen used in the perfect tenses. The perfect tenses. So I hope that you remember that. With that in mind, we can begin with the perfect tenses. So you already know that they are used to show actions which are already completed or completely done in the past. Now we are moving on to the three tenses. First one is of course the present perfect tense, and then you have the past perfect tense, and then the future perfect tense. It's already something that you can guess from the kind of pattern that we have been following. So present perfect, past perfect, and future perfect. Now we will look into what the functions of each of these tenses are. We'll begin with present perfect itself. So we use the present perfect tense to talk about an action that was completed at an unspecified or indefinite time in the past. I'll read again. We use the present perfect tense to talk about an action that was completed at an unspecified, these words are important, unspecified or indefinite time in the past. So this could be slightly confusing, because when the word present comes, you already have this notion that this should be something that is presently happening. How can something that has happened in the past be associated with the word present? This is a very normal question that you will have. Present perfect, it's present perfect and you're talking about an action that happened in the past or completed in the past. What is that? So to make it easy to understand, you can think of it this way. Something that is perfected or completed in the present. So when I am talking in the present, that action is perfected or completed. So to indicate that, we can use present perfect. It's easier to look at it this way. Otherwise there could be confusions for at least some of the students. When I was a child, I had this confusion. That's why I'm using this technique. So it's used to talk about an action that was completed at an unspecified or indefinite time in the past. You think of something. I have seen an elephant. I have seen an elephant. So I'm not saying that I have seen an elephant in 1992 or I have seen an elephant yesterday. So the time of this action is not specified. So this action, when I am saying this, presently when I am saying this, I am saying that this action has been completed or perfected, but I am not specifying at what time or when. So I can use present perfect tense. We'll just think of some more examples. She has done it. She has won a lottery. They have come. So in all these sentences, something that has been completed at an unspecified time in the past is there. So this is in the present perfect tense. Now we will look into the sentence structure of it. Just look at an example that I already gave. She has done it. She is the subject and has the helping verb, and done is the past participle form of the verb. So we are again going back to the forms of verb, past participle form of the verb. They have come. They is the subject, have is the helping verb, and come is again the past participle form of the word come itself. She has cried. Subject plus has or have plus the past participle form of the verb. So that's the basic sentence structure for present perfect tense. Subject plus has or have plus the past participle form of the verb. Now you need to identify between the use of has and have. If the subject is singular, you use has. She, it's a singular subject. She has done it. They is a plural subject, you can use have. So they have done it. The children have played. Ram has played. The children have eaten. Ram has eaten. So you understand the difference between the use of has and have. But in the case of I and you, of course, you already know that you use the plural forms. I have done it, you have done it. So that's clear. Now we can move on to the next one, which is past perfect tense. Past perfect tense. Let's see when we use past perfect tense. We use the past perfect tense to talk about an action that took place in the past before a specific point of time or another past action. So we use past perfect tense to talk about an action that took place in the past before a specific point of time or another past action. Now we will think of some examples. I had been there. I had been there. I had been there before. So before a specific time. Or I had seen an elephant before. So before a specific time. Or imagine that the train had left by the time I reached the railway station. So before a specific action. There are two actions here. The train leaving and me reaching there. So the train had left before I reached there. So if there are two actions to refer to the first completed action, you are using the past perfect tense, and the second completed action is given in the past tense itself. We will give some more examples of this kind of past perfect sentences. They had finished breakfast before I left. They had finished breakfast before I left. So finishing breakfast happened first. So that is given in past perfect, and me having left happened later. So that is given in simple past. So two actions. The action that happened first is given in past perfect. Now look at the structure of past perfect. It's very easy because you have seen in present perfect that it is subject plus has or have plus the past participle form of the verb. You just have to replace has or have with had here. So in past perfect tense, the form is subject plus had plus past participle form of the verb. I had done it, she had seen it, or they had been there, or the rain had stopped before I took the umbrella. They had stopped studying before I reached. So had is there instead of have or has. So it's clear. So we are moving on to the next tense, which is future perfect tense. We'll look into the use of future perfect tense. We use the future perfect tense to talk about an action that will occur in the future before a certain point of time or another action in the future. So we use future perfect tense to talk about an action that will have occurred in future. Already I'm using the future perfect tense when I'm talking to you. I'll give you some example and you will understand very easily. They will have finished the work by tomorrow. They will have finished the work by tomorrow. So this action will have been completed by in a specific time tomorrow. They will have completed the work by tomorrow. So I'm saying that this action, whatever this action is, will have been complete in the future. So we are using future perfect. She will have finished her breakfast by 10. She will have finished her breakfast by 10. The class will have gotten over at 9. The class will have gotten over at 9. So, or maybe you're predicting something, that an action would have been complete we are predicting that it would have been perfected or complete. Or they will have left, they will have left. Or maybe she will have tried, she will have tried. So look at the structure of the sentence. Subject plus will have plus the past participle form of the verb. As simple as that. Subject plus will have plus the past participle form of the verb. He will have done it. That is subject plus will have plus the past participle form of the verb. The baby will have cried. Subject plus will have plus the past participle form of the verb. So this is very easy, right? Now look at some combined sentences in all these tenses, which will make it further more clear. Now look at it. She has done it, she had done it, she will have done it. Present perfect, past perfect, and future perfect. They have come, they had come, they will have come. I have eaten, I had eaten, I will have eaten. So these are the perfect tenses. Just look at some more examples and it will be very clear to you. If you have any doubts, you can post it in your comments and I'll be happy to explain. Probably once we finish these all 12 tenses, we can keep a Q&A session, question answer session, where I can address all your doubts. So in the coming class, we will be dealing with perfect continuous tenses. They're a bit more complicated than the tenses that we have been learning, but we'll try to simplify it as possible as we have been doing so far. So thank you guys for listening. Take care.